everybody, welcome back to another morning word. This is where I share a couple-minute video really to share from my own personal Bible study. The question is why? I just really had this thing from God that I really wanted to, hopefully inspire people to, one, see that God is really interested in your everyday day-to life, but also that God really wanted to speak to you direct. Like, listen, I'm not a pastor, not an evangelist or anything like that. Just someone who fell in love with this book and started reading it, and started taking my life from here to here, in my good times and my bad times. Okay, and I really believe that God really wants to speak to you direct, and He also wanted to, give you life more abundantly. I truly believe that, and you can get that by the way that you think. And God really wants to refine that today. So let's really get into this and let's see if we can pass on a blessing. We're going to be reading from the book of Leviticus, which is the third book of the Bible. We're going to be reading from chapter 2, verse 1. And it reads this. When some bring a grain offering to the Lord, his offering is to be a fine flour. Now, we're not getting too much into that, but what we're going through is all the different types of offerings that the nation of Israel used to give to God. And we're going to entitle this, Where Does Your Food Come From? Is it time to honor God? Okay, now, if you imagine historically, there were 5 different types of offerings the Israelites made to God. Some were done for forgiveness of sins, to restore relationship with God. And then we had like a grain offering, which was a show and to honor God, respect God and worship Him, to understand that everything belongs to Him. Okay, no matter what you think, everything belongs to Him. Everything, no matter how hard you've worked and you feel that you've done all this, but everything that you see belongs to God. Okay, and the reason I say that, for a moment, I want you to pause. Okay, and forget that you believe that you're God. Okay, because we all sometimes do. We all think that we're masters of our own destiny and masters of everything that we see. But the truth is, there is a big designer behind all of us. And I want you to imagine for a moment, what would life be if there was no sun? No matter how gifted you are right now, what if there was no sun? What if there was no rain? No matter how hard you work, there was no rain. There would be no life, right? Okay, so imagine, for all our creativity as human beings, and God has gifted us with this incredible ability to be creative, if God didn't put the foundation of life in our lives, there would be no life. Okay, that sounded a bit confusing, but if God took away the sun, if God took away the rain, and those 2 key elements were not around, okay, we'd all be dead, no matter how gifted we are. So here's the question of the day. Do you appreciate the basics we should be grateful for? Like, if there was no other reason but to thank God, is to say, yo, thank you there is a sun, thank you that there is rain, because without those 2 elements, we are dead. There is no existence. But God has ordained that the basics is there for every one of us. Whether we praise Him or not, God has gifted us with that. So why would you not want to praise Him? Just for that alone, wake up this morning and say, for that alone, I give you thanks. So here's the lesson of the day. God has given us a foundation for us to build our lives on. If that foundation was to be taken away, nothing can be built. Recognize today how much you owe God. I know you've got a great life. Some of you are driving around in your fast cars, and you've got some nice clothes, and you're healthy, and you're doing great things, you've been super successful. But all of that success was built on the foundation of life that God has granted to you. The sun, the rain. Without those things, you have no life. So here's the action of the day. Take 30 seconds just to recognize all the things you cannot control. The sun, the rain, your heart, and give God thanks. And to say, God, for those 3 things, my heart beating, if that stops, I don't control that, I'm dead. If the sun stops shining, I'm dead. If there is no rain, we're dead. But God has blessed us with those fundamentals of life so you can build your life. So God bless you. Hope that blesses you and gets you start to think. Okay? As we always say, we tend to hope God's gift to us is life. What we do with that life is our gift back to God. God bless you. See you for the next morning word. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get these videos Monday to Friday. And obviously share it for anybody else who may be trying to get into the word and trying to understand the things of God. Maybe this can bless them to start having their own revelations. God bless you and see you soon.